Here we have Stickman, armed with curiosity and a bold ambition to conquer chemistry faster than ever before. Stickman isn't interested in endless textbooks or complicated formulas. He's looking for a shortcut that actually works. In this section, we'll share a step-by-step strategy that's so efficient, it might just make Stickman do a happy dance. Get ready for a method that breaks down chemistry into bite-sized, manageable pieces, making each concept clear and memorable. Stickman will be your guide, showing how simple shapes and clever tricks can turn confusion into confidence. Let's see how Stickman tackles chemistry, one easy step at a time. Chemistry is the science that explores what everything is made of and how things change. Imagine Stickman peering through a magnifying glass, wondering what makes up the world around him. Atoms are like tiny building blocks, and when they join together, they form molecules. Chemistry helps us understand how these building blocks interact, combine, or even break apart in reactions. Whether it's baking a cake or fueling a car, chemistry is happening all around us. Stickman can't help but be amazed at how these invisible particles shape our everyday lives. Before diving into the world of learning, it's important to gather your trusty tools. Textbooks, notes, and simple diagrams are your secret weapons. Stickman, always prepared, reaches for a notebook and a bold black marker. With these essentials in hand, Stickman is ready to tackle any challenge that comes his way. Sometimes, all you need is a good marker and a blank page to start making sense of things. Let's see how Stickman puts these tools to work. Chemistry can seem like a huge, bubbling cauldron of facts and formulas, but Stickman knows the secret. Break it down into bite-sized pieces. First, there's the periodic table, where all the elements hang out in neat rows and columns. Next up is bonding, which is basically how atoms hold hands and form new substances. And don't forget equations, where numbers and letters team up to show how reactions happen. By tackling each topic one at a time, chemistry becomes much less intimidating, and maybe even a little fun. Active recall is a powerful way to learn. Instead of just reading your notes, try quizzing yourself on the material. Stickman likes to cover up the answers with his hand and see if he can remember the key facts on his own. This simple trick helps your brain work a little harder, making the information stick. Don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. Stickman sometimes peaks too. The more you practice recalling, the better you'll remember things when you really need them. Let's break down big science ideas with the help of our trusty Stickman. Imagine Stickman drawing a tiny circle to represent an atom, then adding a few squiggly lines for electrons. With a quick swipe of an arrow, Stickman shows how atoms bump into each other and react. Suddenly, two atoms join hands, stick hands, and form a molecule. Stickman's simple sketches turn complicated reactions into easy-to-understand doodles. Who knew chemistry could be this friendly and fun? Stickman knows that teaching is a great way to learn, even if your audience is a pet rock. Today, Stickman is explaining covalent bonds to a very puzzled pebble. Covalent bonds happen when atoms share electrons, kind of like two friends sharing snacks. Instead of fighting over who gets what, they both hold on to the electrons together. The pebble might not get it, but Stickman's enthusiastic gestures make the lesson lively. Sometimes teaching helps you understand things better, even if your student just stares blankly back at you. One of the best ways to prepare is by practicing with past questions and problems. Stickman dives right in, bravely facing sample questions. Sometimes he gets them wrong, but that's all part of the learning process. Each mistake is a stepping stone, helping Stickman figure out what to focus on next. With every attempt, he becomes a little wiser and a lot more confident. Remember, even a simple stick figure can master tricky problems with enough practice, and maybe a few squiggly lines of determination. Stickman has a keen eye for patterns, especially when it comes to the periodic table. He spots that elements in the same column often share similar properties, like how sodium and potassium both love to react with water. With a flourish, Stickman draws arrows between these related elements, connecting the dots, literally. He notices that as you move across a row, the elements change from metals to nonmetals, almost like a magic trick. These shortcuts help Stickman remember which elements are friends and which ones prefer to keep their distance. It's all about finding the trends and making sense of the squiggly lines and boxes. Taking quick breaks is like giving your brain a mini vacation. Imagine Stickmin pausing his studies, stretching his arms way up high, and then busting out a cheerful dance. These short breaks help you stay focused and keep your energy up. Even a simple wiggle or a walk around the room can make a big difference. So don't be afraid to step away for a moment. Your brain will thank you, and Stickmin will definitely approve. Reviewing regularly is the secret weapon for remembering what you've learned. Picture Stickmin flipping through his notes at lightning speed, pausing only to point at the most important ideas with a flourish. These rapid-fire summaries help your brain keep the essentials front and center. It's like giving your memory a quick workout, no sweatbands required. By making reviews a habit, you'll find that key concepts stick around much longer, just like Stickmin's favorite doodles. Sometimes, things don't go exactly as planned, but Stickmin knows that mistakes are just part of the adventure. Instead of getting upset, he shrugs, flashes a big smile, and maybe even strikes a goofy pose. By laughing at his slip-ups, Stickmin shows us that learning can be fun and lighthearted. Every error is just another step toward getting better. So keep your chin up, stay positive, and remember, everyone stumbles sometimes, even stick figures. Congratulations are in order. Stickmin is absolutely thrilled, tossing confetti in the air after acing his chemistry test. It turns out learning quickly doesn't have to be stressful. It can actually be a blast. With a little focus and a lot of enthusiasm, Stickmin shows us that mastering new concepts is possible and even enjoyable. Who knew that a few squiggly lines and a big smile could represent such a triumphant moment? So let's take a cue from Stickmin and celebrate every victory, big or small. After all, progress deserves a party, even if it's just a stick figure dance.